Welcome back. This is your shipper update. I'm Mike Vincent. He's Anthony Smith, our lead economist. What's going on today on this beautiful Tuesday?
So on this Tuesday, we got some good news. So on the consumer confidence front, we saw an increase.
Beautiful.
So the first increase, I think, in 4 months, but as you know, we're going off of consumer actions, not exactly those indices. And what we've seen in their actions have really been showing that they are anticipating to buy more big ticket items and more homes.
They're feeling good about things.
They're feeling good about things. They're in a decent position right now. And so not too much of a surprise there with that consumer confidence index going up, because we kind of saw the actions proving it out. New home sales, we did see some good news here as well. I think the previous month, so this is where it gets a little bit iffy.
Okay.
So we were at 740.
All right.
The previous month got a downgrade from 740 to 702.
Okay.
So that's a substantial downgrade. But this upcoming release that just got put out, up to 800,000. So they just said that
it's a bigger jump than we thought.
Yes.
That's a big jump.
That's a big jump, and that's a big downgrade. So it kind of makes me a little bit iffy about the 800,000 that just got put out, because they just got downgraded by around 38,000 or so. So I'm going to take this with a grain of salt.
If you average that out, it should be about 760.
Somewhere around there. And so I'm going to be a little bit iffy with the finalized numbers that it's going to come out for new home sales. But the big thing is right now is that consumers are feeling confident. That we already knew because we saw the data here. We kind of read between the lines. And I think a lot of it also comes down to the Delta variant starting to, those ease and concerns are starting to kind of die down a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So good news there. And of course, the job market is as hot as it's ever been right now. And so the conditions for them are really set and primed right now for new home sales.
As long as you can get the supplies in there to build them.
Exactly, exactly. And so in our next chart here, one of the other big items that the conference board really outlined was that a lot of consumers are looking to make more purchases, not just with homes, but appliances and furniture and vacations, those winter vacations. Consumers are thinking about taking more vacations at this point. So that's one of the things that I thought was interesting that popped out in that recent survey. So looking at this is one of the areas that we're talking about in the previous shipper update, that retail sales really is going to really be a big push for what we're seeing on those freight volumes, especially with those van loads. So what we have here in the green line is our van outbound tender volume index. And so when we're looking at more furniture products, we're looking at more appliances, which we're going to look at next. Those are going to be a huge part and really filling up these volumes.
They absolutely are. And even those that don't buy their homes, if they're feeling confident, if they're not, even they're going to redo the inside of their home and stay in it, right?
Exactly, exactly right. And so one of the big things that we did see from the updated report for those new home sales was that there was I think a slight bump to 5.4 months of supply. So a little bit more inventory entering the market. We did see some really good numbers from the Northeast, which isn't going to be really a big region that's going to have a lot of homes just because it's such a mature market. Not a lot of space.
And it's really not the time of year to start building.
No, not at all, not at all. And so we're definitely going to kind of taper our expectations for that area in the coming months. But the South really did it up in a big way with double-digit growth for new home sales, and that's going to be an active area because in the South you can have a little bit more activity in in some of the warmer climates.
Yeah, it's not quite as seasonal.
Exactly, and so going to be watching those closely. And our next chart here is going to be the other segment, that downstream impact that we're going to see, electrical equipment and appliances. We were talking about this, how builders were really in the past have been, or not so far past, but have been really stocking up on appliances, stoves, refrigerators, sinks, anything that might go into that new home.
Right.
And so consumers are also looking to get their hands on some of these things as well. So we can anticipate this also being a segment that's going to feed into freight volumes. Kind of leading into some of the sentiments from, I don't put too much weight into these consumer confidence surveys, but one of the things that kind of correlates here is, of course, that more consumers are looking to buy more appliances. And so looking at it across the board, I think consumers are feeling a sense to, hey, I can continue to upgrade everything I have around me. And, maybe I just bought this 2 years ago, or maybe I've been looking at this for too long. I want to upgrade. I want a new TV. I want a new refrigerator. I want a smart refrigerator. I want to get all these different things. And so I think, on the other hand, a little bit further downstream, I think the secondhand market is going to get a huge quality bump as more people start to buy and replace things.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talking about that, but that's a really good point.
So I think, for you thrifters out there, you bargain hunters, I think there's definitely going to be a little bit bump up there. But for shippers, the consumer demand for those shippers, those producers, strong as ever. I was always thinking about the confidence, not the confidence, but the consumer stamina going into the final months. And right now, what we're seeing is that that stamina is strong, alive, and well, and that the consumers are going to be able to really act out on all the demands without the bonus initial jobs claim benefits and unemployment and stimulus packages like that. So right now we're seeing good news on the consumer front and good news for those shippers if you can get your stuff in the U.S.
Excellent. Now we just got to get the supply chain straightened out, right?
Exactly.
All right, we'll get to work on that right now.